Welcome to this video on finding organic click-through rate opportunities from Google Search Console data using SEOtesting.com. This is the first of two videos on finding click-through rate opportunities from the reports within the tool. So from the Launchpad, we're going to choose the site that we want to look and work with. And then on the left-hand navigation, we're going to choose reports. And you can see here we've got a section on find click-through rate opportunities. So in this video we're going to look at the first two reports, so low click-through rates by query and then low click-through rates by page. If we look at the first one, which is by query, we have a filter here that will change what results are brought back. So at the moment it's bringing back all queries that have a click-through rate less than 10, which is quite high. So let's change that to be 2. So now this brings back all queries that have a click-through rate below 2. It's worth looking as well. It's sorted by clicks to start with, but we may want to sort this by impressions to bring back the ones that have the lowest click-through rate or lowest click-through rate below 2, and also still a decent number of impressions, because we could sort this by click-through rate, but there's no point in trying to optimize a query that doesn't get many impressions. So what we can do from here is we can take a look click on this little square icon to open the external URL. So what this will do is it will open the page on our site, on this site that we're looking at, so Money Saving Heroes. It will open the page that has ranked for that query over the last 7 days. So the first thing to check is just look at this query. You know, is it included in the page title and meta description of the page? If not, can it be added in naturally to work? Because having that query in the page title or meta description could help improve the click-through rate. Another thing worth checking is using the little G icon. So what this will do is it will do a search within Google on the query that we're looking at. And what you should use this for is checking search intent. So if we're trying to rank a page that is completely different to all of the other search results that are appearing in the top 10 or at the moment. So say, for example, we're trying to rank an informational piece of content, and all the results here are all e-commerce based results, so they're all selling products. It's really unlikely that we're going to be able to rank our informational piece of content within this search results to do well. So it's always worth checking whether the search intent of our content matches up with the search intent that Google is returning or showing to users. Okay. Once we've found some opportunities here, some low click-through rates, again lots of impressions, and we've done that, what we can also do is have a look by page as well. So we look at low click-through rates by page. And again, it starts with a filter of 10, that's just by default. So let's change this to 2. And you can see ordered by clicks again. We could order this by impressions to show the pages that are getting the most impressions and still a low click-through rate as well. But once we've found a URL that has a low click-through rate and is getting a decent amount of impressions, what we can then do is click on the URL itself, and we go through to what we call the page details view. So this shows the graph, the URL, and so on of the one we're looking at. We've actually got these graphs are hidden at the moment, so we can look at impressions, position, and click-through rate if we wanted to. But the reason these are hidden is because down below the clicks graph, we have some more information. So for this page, we're pulling back what the current title is and what the current meta description is. But then we're also getting all the queries for this page that this page has been displayed for in the last 90 days within Google. So what we can look at is what the top query is in terms of impressions. Let's search this by, order it by impressions. So the top query in terms of impressions, EE discount code, we can see it's used 4 times on that page. That's pretty good, but it's got a low click-through rate. So average position is 24, so perhaps that's more to do with position than anything else. But again, it's worth checking. You know, EE discount code. Well, it's EA vouchers, codes, and vouchers and codes. So we could try including EE discount code within probably the meta description there, and that would hopefully improve click-through rate. We can also find some instances where perhaps there are queries here that aren't getting the high keyword usage on the page, so they're not included on the page at all, so that would certainly help. So we're not suggesting keyword stuffing by any means, but if you find some some queries here that the page is already being returned for but aren't used within the page, it's sometimes useful to include them. So yeah, that's how you can find 2 ways of finding some click-through rate opportunities.